Hello and welcome, it is I, Lynx, the guy that played all of the Sakura games except one that is on Patreon. And currently I don't have access to Patreon. We'll get there eventually, I'm sure. In the future, someday. Now for It's Sakura Succubus 9, the newest release that's on Steam. Let us continue. Sometime later, after the events of the yesterday's episode.
I'm not looking forward to this at all.
Here we see the true face of Ayu.
This is going to be dreadful. I just know it. What pain in the ass?
As Coding Ayu is sitting beside me, her arms folded resolutely across her chest. She doesn't look very happy, which is something of a running theme with Ayu. And it's definitely been a running theme this morning. The two of us are sitting in an airport lobby, waiting for our flight to Astoria to arrive, and we have a company. Cosmos, Hifumi, and Alice have also decided to come along for the ride. Okay, that's good team. Ayu might be going to Astoria for her upcoming concert, but Hifumi is making the journey. And Stefania's request apparently, unfortunately, will be running into her. Hifumi has a bit of a break in her filming schedule, and Stefania's been angling to see her Karuta mentor once more. I think Alice has a photo shoot in Astoria lined up. Let's go, girl! To show off some of Sayuri's newest pieces. And as for Cosmos, she just wants to go, doesn't she? Well, I'm not really sure why she's tagging along. She just wants to go. Maybe she's just in it for the vibes? I'm here meanwhile because I was sent out here by my boss. Of course. He wants me to attend Ayu and Shizuru's concert, which is being described as once-in-a-lifetime spectacle. And snap some photos. Because I'm a photographer. I'm not actually traveling as Ayu's +1, I have work to do. You are traveling also as a +1, let's face it, come on. Face the reality, you're doing both. I think I'll have my work cut out for me for trying to manage Ayu's mood. Her expression is thunderous.
I can't believe I have to perform with Shizuru of all the people. What was my production company thinking? It's bad enough that that saggy old witch decided to make a comeback when she should have bowed out gracefully years ago. But why should I have to share the stage with her? The stage isn't hers, it's mine!
Dude, I wish I was not recording this at night. I would go full blast. Loud as hell.
It's time for her to stand aside and let the new generation take over, damn it! I thought Shizuru did stand aside and let the new generation take over for... I don't know much about Shizuru, but did you say she stopped being an idol about 20 years ago? She did stop being an idol almost 20 years ago, and it should have stayed that way too!
Is that a new outfit for Cosmos?
I think like each Sakura game she's getting a new outfit. Good for her, let's go! There was absolutely no reason for her to launch a comeback, especially not in around to the release of my latest album. It almost feels like she was trying to undermine me. It's like she's being all, look at me, I'm a nation crown, but I can still pull in numbers. My charismatic fans all adore me, and with their support I can outshine Ayu. When I walk into the room, I can still make the people, whole place light up. I'm the real star, me.
I mean, that doesn't sound like a very charitable assessment. Are you sure that's what she's really be thinking? And not what you're... I gasp as I cleanse her heel against my food. Heart. Food. I hope you mean stomach by that. Well, to be fair, it doesn't matter. It's not my stomach. Ow. Hey, Ayu. Was that really necessary?
It was about as necessary as all of your petty remarks, mister. Ah, this will be awful. I was really pissed at Shizuru for upstaging me with her little comeback, but having to actually share a stage with her? This is humiliating. Oh, humiliating.
Alice pipes up quietly, her head tilted to one side. Alice is just as softly spoken as always, but I think her confidence has had something of a boost ever since she started to work as a model. Alice, Alice, Alice. She can actually articulate her thoughts now, and she doesn't always hide behind my back. Not like I minded that. She still stammers, of course. That's an Alice quirk, which I doubt will ever change, and she goes red incredibly easily, but she's trying to start more conversations on her own. For that I'm proud of her. She really is doing her best. For I do worry that trying to talk to Ayu when she's in one of her moods might be a poor idea. Ayu isn't very personable at the best of times, and this is the worst of times.
I don't see why performing with Miss Mihama should be humiliating. I don't know very much about idols myself, but she was very popular back in the day. Shouldn't you be flattered to perform alongside such a legend? I know I would be. Ch! What do you mean flattered? There's nothing flattering about this situation. It's almost like my production commander saying, "Hey Ayu, you're not exciting enough to pull big crowds on your own anymore, so we want you to team up with this has-been too much of elderly fanbase." Truly think that I'd be alright with that? I suppose not, but... Well, there you go! I'm not alright with it. I'm very, very, very not alright with it. I don't really think I can fill a stadium on my own.
Stadium? Damn. What kind of stadium are we talking about? Are you giving concerts on football stadiums? Then we are talking, I guess, around 60,000. If you are aiming for, like, sort of biggest in Europe.
Leeching off somebody else's popularity is really embarrassing, but doing it with a person like Shizuru... I don't feel my pride will ever recover.
Ayu introduces her index finger to her mouth, then she bites down her nail, her violet eyes flashing. Damn girl, stop. Come on.
I can't believe you would even suggest that I should be flattered, Alice. What the hell is wrong with you? You resign. I'm sorry. I was just trying to cheer you up, but I guess my intervention wasn't wanted. I'm just a stupid, ignorant succubus who doesn't really know what she's talking about. I'm as stupid as a pigeon.
Okay, let's not go that far. There is nothing more stupid than a pigeon, okay? I freaking hate pigeons. They are dumb as hell. Don't compare yourself to such a stupid being, okay? I hate pigeons.
No, stupider. Make you slower than the cardboard boxes.
Well, I mean, cardboard boxes IQ is higher than pigeons, so... Again, don't compare yourself to a pigeon. God damn it. I hate pigeons so much.
I'm so dumb I should just give up on living as human and become a yak in the Himalayas. Hi, 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 hi. Don't talk down to yourself like that, Ali.
Ali? Oh yeah, Alice, Ali, okay.
I think you have a lot of good qualities. You do? Yeah, you're a,
Cosmos, you spoke too soon.
Well... You're not exactly confident, and you're not good at cheering people up either. You always look awkward when you smile, and you tend to say exactly the wrong thing to people. You can't cook, you have no practical skills, and you are so clumsy, so you're always tripping over your own feet, and... But at least you have good taste in anime.
For heaven's sake, anime is with the capital letter. How many times do I have to repeat that?
That means you're not completely useless. Cosmos!
Alice looks at Cosmos, her eyes dump. She blinks. Then, not wholly to my surprise, she begins to sob again.
You're right. I have nothing going for me whatsoever. I really am a waste of space. Wow, good job cheering her up, Cosmos. With people's skills like that, it is really a wonder why you don't become a politician.
Dude. Cosmos for president. You think I wouldn't vote for Cosmos? Dude. Definitely. Dude, Cosmos, how about you become president of Poland? Oh yeah. That would be so much better. That would be so much better.
Have you tried running for the office? Do you really think I could get in? No. Just look at yourself. Nobody would want to be represented by a weird girl who likes to LARP as being a cat. Especially not a weird girl who likes to LARP as being a cat who smashes eggs for herself on the camera for her fans.
I guess she did do that, yeah.
You have no chance. My.
Hifumi smiles at me, one hand pressed to her mouth.
We certainly have a lively bunch assembled for our upcoming trip, don't we?
We sure do. We sure do. I definitely can't deny that, for whether this is a good thing or not remains to be seen. It's probably not a good thing, come on. Alice is still waiting while I is laying in the cosmos. This succubi might be grown women, ostensibly, but I'm starting to feel like a kindergarten teacher taking their kids out for a trip. Sure, garlic boy. Hifumi is the only halfway sensible person here. The last time I went to Astoria, I was in the company of Marina, Hifumi, and Hazel. True. Both Marina and Hifumi are pretty mature, yes. With Marina, there is someone who can, like, get her crazy. And while Hazel isn't the most reliable person, she's very easygoing. Yeah. It was quite a relaxing trip, thanks to my companions. This trip, however, should be a lot more lively, to borrow Hifumi's turn of phrase. Ayu has a hair-triggered temper, Cosmos is an air-headed space cadet. Yeah. And Alice is... awkward?
I'm so useless. Why did I even come here? I'm sure I just spoiled everything.
Well, Alice is honest. Can I really deal with these girls for our entire trip? You have no choice, man. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure if I want to find out either. This all starting to seem like a recipe for unmitigated disaster. I just hope everything will be alright. There should be like a choice. You know what? Run away. Sometime later. Still on the airport.
Excuse me, Hiroki.
Yes, is something wrong?
Well, I was just wondering.
Alice and I are still sitting in the airport, waiting for our flight to board. We have about another half an hour until then. Time that I've been trying to kill by scrolling through my phone. I bet that's what I would be doing as well. For to be quite fair, I probably would also take like PSP, PS Vita with me as well. Both of them. I would have something to do. Cosmos and Ayu, meanwhile, are being unusually quiet. Ayu hasn't hurled any insults at Cosmos for a hot minute. She's not said so much as a peep, actually, after exploding at Alice earlier. I guess she's feeling bad about that. It looks like she and Cosmos are both listening to music. Cosmos's music. Oh, in all likelihood, since they're sharing a pair of headphones that are plugged into Cosmos's phone. I feel like you should say earphones, if anything. Headphones, yeah, I mean, headphones is not something you can actually share. Come on. Earphones, that makes sense. I don't know what sort of music Cosmos is into, but it, surprisingly enough, doesn't seem to be offending Ayu's sensibilities. Dude, in before she will be like, Hey Ayu, we should listen to this. You ready? And she blasts a song by Mihama Shizuru. Dude, that would piss Ayu so much. She's in scolding, which is a rarity for her. For she isn't exactly smiling either. Her expression is a bit hard to read. I guess I'll take that as a positive. Hifumi for her party is flipping through a book. Okay, not surprised. It looks like a historical romance novel set in the Edo period, between a common serving girl and a samurai. I guess it makes sense that Hifumi would like novels like that. She starred in so many romance movies herself. I know she's a huge fan of sappy love stories. Alice meanwhile was leafing through a fashion magazine, but she's since set it down. I think that something's bothering her because she looks at me shyly and mumbles,
I was just wondering, I've not been to Astoria before, so I have no idea what it's like. I'm a little worried that I won't fit in. But I'm even more worried that Princess might hold a grudge against me.
Why? A princess? Who? A throne. I'm so accustomed to calling Stefania... Well, Stefania, that Alice's use of her title initially throws me for a loop. For some reason, I find it hard to place Stefania's name to the lofty moniker of a princess. Maybe that's because Stefania is so kind, humble, and down to earth. She really doesn't act like you'd expect a monarch to act. She's not spoiled in the slightest. Okay, she might not be, but... she's a nice girl for... True and true. Fine. Which makes it easy for me to treasure Alice. Oh, if you mean Steffi, then you don't have to worry about that. I'm sure she'll have forgiven you. Huh?
Are you sure?
Alice looks at me mistrustfully.
I did kidnap her. And I tied her to a chair. That can't have been very much fun for her.
I'm sure it wasn't. But you didn't threaten her, did you?
No, I didn't. Not even I would stoop that far. I didn't inflict any harm on her either. Beyond tying her up, of course. I think I might have tied the ropes a bit too tightly for, but I didn't use any of my magic on her, beyond the magic I used when I knocked her out, of course. I didn't want to hurt her.
Then it should be fine. I doubt Stefania will hold a grudge. There is someone else who might fall.
Really? I think most people hold a grudge after that. It's common sense.
Maybe most people would, but Stefania isn't most people.
No, she isn't. She's a princess. I kidnapped somebody incredibly important. Hiroki!
Alice's face turns ashen.
What if my supposed photo shoot with Sayuri was all a huge trick devised by Astoria's government? What if I get thrown in prison the moment I arrive in the country, or worse? What if I get executed?
I doubt that will happen. Capital punishment is illegal in Astoria. And in whole Europe, to be fair. I don't think there is a single European country that has it still. But maybe I'm mistaken. A quick search. Capital punishment Europe. Oddly, Belarus continues to actively use capital punishments. Interesting. Had no idea. I was close enough for, I mean, none and one country. Pretty close.
Yeah, but will they make an exception for me? I mean, I did commit a pretty huge crime against a member of the royal family. If execution's going too far, then there has to be the war of at least a few pulled out fingernails and a gouged eye, right?
Have you read Higurashi before this or something? Well...
The prince invited us to stay at the palace, Hiroki. Of course it will have a dungeon. I wouldn't be surprised if it has a torture chamber too. I don't get shoved into the Iron Maiden.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that.
The bounty's fine, but I really don't want to be brutally tortured.
Alice, please. I take Alice's shoulders in my hands, which are quaking, and try to placate her. I didn't do a thorough sweep of Astoria's palace when I was there last time, but I doubt they have a torture chamber. This is the 21st century. Dude, you can't trust the royalty, man. Come on. You're worrying too much about nothing. Now try to relax. Take a deep breath.
That's easier said than done. All of a sudden I feel like I can breathe at all.
I know, but you're working yourself up into a state. Stefania is a nice person. A bit boring for. This isn't some great ruse or evil plot. If she asks you to stay with her in the palace, it must be because she wants to get to know you better. I doubt it's some sneaky underhanded attempt to end your life, so please relax, everything will be fine.
It will?
I'm sure it will. Alice bites her lower lip worriedly. She hangs her head, her expression morose, and murmurs.
I'm not sure about that. But alright. I'll try to be positive. I can't promise very much. I've never been very good at it.
Believe me, I'm aware. I know your thoughts get the better of you sometimes, but I really do think you're worrying for nothing. Stefania is a really nice girl. You'll see. I'm sure we'll get on wonderfully.
I find it hard to get along with anybody averagely, let alone wonderfully. But I'll hope for the best. I don't want to spoil this holiday for the rest of us. I'll try to stay cheery.
It's not really a holiday, though.
I really will do my best, but...
But...
There is one more thing I was worried about.
Alice pressed her index fingers together at the front. She looks up at me, her brow furrowed with distress. Then in a soft voice which wavers she says,
Hiroki, what will we do if the plane crashes?
Well, we won't be able to do anything. Despite Ayu's protracted grumbling and Alice's ever-present anxiety, the 13-something hour flight to Astoria passes with relatively little event. 13 hours from Japan? Isn't that fast? I think that was pretty fast. They must have paid for the best possible flight, literally. The flight isn't comfortable, but flights rarely are... I wouldn't know. If I'm able to travel in style with my party thanks to Ayu's connections and excessive wealth, there still is enough room for me to comfortably stretch my legs out. I guess this is one of the curses of being tall. How tall are you? I don't remember if that was said before. I know a lot of short guys resent us taller men for our extra added height. They seem to think it gives us natural edge over our competition, especially when it comes to wooing women. It does. Face the reality, it does. I've always thought I could do with being a few inches shorter myself, however. I had my school's basketball team on my back constantly when I was a student trying to recruit me, for my interest in sports has always been nil. We know. I only care about sports when my boss sends me out to photograph important matches, and even then, I have a hard time keeping track of what's going on. I'm only in it for the money. I mean, across the entire globe, if you think about it. Who does a job where their only drive is not money? Come on. I've never had a job where my drive would not be money. Come on. I don't think there is a job for me where my drive would not be money. Only money. And I don't know, maybe unless for some reason my YouTube would blow up like crazy. I would be in it for the money, but also for the fact that I actually like recording stuff. I like going through the videos, cutting it a little bit. I know I'm not doing much editing, but I like the cutting process, like tinkering a little bit with the sound. That's not gonna happen for. I'm in it just as a hobby still, and probably will forever stay like that. Anywho, but yeah, any other job, it was just money. Being tall is more of a curse than a blessing, really, especially on the public transport. How tall are you exactly? Come on. But my poor legs aside, I arrived in Astoria's airport with little incident. What do you mean? I retrieved my luggage from a carousel, relieved to find that everything's as it should be. When I step outside the airport, a smiling Cosmos, a sighing Gaio, a stringy Hifumi, and a shaking Alice in tow, and I'm soon greeted by a familiar pair of faces.
Hiroki, it's so very good to see you again. And everyone else too, of course. I miss you, Sensei. I've been very much looking forward to having another Karuta match with you. Hehehe. How flattering. I'm very glad to hear it. But we've been through this before, dear Stefania. You don't need to call me Sensei. I think that sounds much too stiff and formal, and makes me feel rather old too. Hifumi will do just fine. I concur. You're a princess, milady, even if Miss Yamamoto is a skilled karate player. You should not feel obliged to prostrate yourself before her.
Yes, she should.
Oh, but it's a thing Lizzie. I do feel obliged. My teacher, Sensei, is incredible after all. I don't think there's any better card player than Teach. Sorry, I mean Hifumi, not in all the world. You're too kind. I'm not uniquely skilled at the game.
She's like 7 times world champion or something.
But it is gratifying to hear you say so, eh? Of course I'll say so, it is the truth after all. I would like to start playing more games with you right away. But where are my manners?
Stefania turns her attention to Ayu and Cosmos, her face flushed.
It's good to see you both too. You too, it's a pleasure. Samesies, Meowdy, Steffi, Lizzie, let's have fun. I'm sure we will. I'm getting fun just talking to you, hehe. It's so nice to spend some time with some girls of my own age. I don't dislike leaving the palace, but it can be somewhat stifling.
Understandable.
I've been rather looking forward to seeing you all.
Stefania looks between us, softly smiling. Her green eyes then lock onto Alice's, who, as might be predicted, squeaks and tries to hide behind my back.
Hehe.
I think she's still worrying that Stefania might take her to task over her attempted kidnapping, but I know Stefania better than Alice does. I've spent more time with Astoria's princess, and her greeting doesn't come as a shock in the slightest.
Ooh, and of course you were included when I say I wanted to see all of you. It's so lovely to see you, Alice. I've not had a chance to speak to you as much as I have the others, but that's alright. That means I can take this opportunity to better get to know you. Oh, I really am looking forward to this. I can't wait to take you all back to the palace. Hey?
Alice peers at Stefania from behind my shoulder, quivering all the while. She blinks. Then in a quiet and self-effacing sort of voice she says,
Do you really not mind me being here then? Why should I mind? I'm the one who invited you here. It would be silly of me to extend you an invite to the royal palace if I did not mean to uphold my word. I'm sure we'll have a lot of discuss. For I'm most looking forward to playing more games of cards with you. Hifumi. If it wouldn't be too much of an imposition, of course. Oh, Stefania.
Hifumi smiles at Stefania, indulgently, her expression soft and gentle. For a few moments she observes Astoria's princess, her eyes warm like flickering firelight. Then she takes a step forwards. Hifumi extends a hand, then sleeve of her kimono fluttering. Huh? Why? Oh.
Oh!
Why would you do that?
Hey?
And so, to Stefania's surprise, she rests her palm atop Stefania's head and gives her blonde tresses a ruffle.
Try not to fear, Stefania. I know that it is easier said than done, given his human nature to worry, but you aren't in any position upon me. You couldn't be even if you tried. Are you sure about it? Lizzie would never say so because she is my maid, but I worry. I can be rather demanding at times. You? Demanding?
Elizabeth shakes her head.
Don't be silly, me lady. You're an absolute pleasure to serve, and I'm not saying that because your parents have employed me to do so. You're saying that exactly because of that, come on. I would still wish to care for you even if I had no financial incentive to do so. Being with you is a pleasure. Your sweet smiles could thaw out the ice in any heart, no matter how hard. Except for Lynx's, for apparently. And you always put others above yourself despite your royal status. I believe it is impossible not to be charmed by you, and I'm sure that Miss Yamamoto agrees.
I think there is one person. The one who narrates this game. Who is not charmed. She's okay as a character. But nothing more, to be honest.
Why yes, you rather taken the words out of my mouth, hehe. There is little else for me to say after that rousing speech. But rest assured, Elizabeth is correct. I'm not tired of you, Stefania. That could never come to pass.
It's good that you're speaking for yourself. I wonder how did our other idol decide to travel? Because she apparently did not travel with us. At least it seems that way.
You're simply too precious.
Hifumi smiles gently, still stroking Stefania's hair.
And I'm glad to see you are doing so well. Oh, well,
Stefania flushes.
I'm quite alright, as you can see. I was a bit sad admittedly when I had to return to Astoria. Well, after my trip to Japan, I couldn't see you anymore. I missed all of you. And I especially missed you, Hiroki. It was rather lonely. But I kept myself busy. I knew that you wouldn't like it if I was moping around the palace on my own. Hiroki being sad, so I tried to work through my sorrow. I knew that I would see you all again eventually. And now that you're here, I can hardly contain my happiness.
Stefania's smile is luminous. It's so bright. Looking at this is making my eyes hurt. Yes, and I'm not the only one who's overwhelmed by her sunny disposition. Alice is still shrinking behind me, muttering something like, "It burns." She seems to do that a lot, actually. I hope she doesn't have a skin condition. I meanwhile is scowling, which is understandable. She glowers at Hifumi, who is still petting Stefania on the head, and says,
I'm surprised that maid of Stefania's letting you do that, especially when we're out in the public. Surely it can be good for Stefania's image being treated like an infant outdoors.
Gah!
If it were anybody other than Miss Yamamoto touching Milady Toots, I would agree with you. But Miss Yamamoto is a kind, gentle woman. I know she would never do anything to hurt Milady, and there is no shame in letting her express her affections. Miss Yamamoto's aura is so dignified, nobody could observe the scene and take it to be anything untoward. Oh, you'd be surprised what people are capable of. Some of my fans are really weird. Mine too! I had no idea people wrote stories about me until a few days ago, when one of my fans sent me one of their own works on A13. It was a really strange story about me and, well... I was actually with you, are you? Me? Yeah, it started off pretty tame. We're just going to some con together, and we're staying at the same hotel, but there was only one room, and only one bed. But by the end, we were doing all sorts of weird stuff, like pillow fighting. That's it, basically pillow fighting, yeah.
Weird stuff, huh? Like pillow fighting, gotcha. I frown. That sounds kind of hot. Where can I read this fic? Pretty familiar. Did you find one of my fanfics? Pretty blunt. I'm more of an Ayu Marina shipper myself. Oh shit, that would be like, dude, I would go freaking berserk when if she heard that. Kind of hot. When can I read this fanfic? Let's go.
I thought you'd be interested. I knew you were a man of culture, Hiroki. If you're interested, I can pull this fic up for you, along with all the other classic Ayu fics I found. There's some really good ones out there. I like the ones where she uses her feet the most. Basically to kick people. But the ones where she uses her hair.
Her hair, damn. You know what? That reminds me. In the Grisaya no Kanjitsu, the first one, a certain character did learn to fight with twin tails, so I bet Ayu is doing exactly that in those fanfics. It's basically a fighting fanfic. Come on.
Never mind that.
Ayu turns her back on Cosmos, her arms folded. She turns her back to so abruptly one of her pigtails slaps Cosmos in the face. Ah! See? She can do that.
In the case, you really shouldn't be patting princess like this here for me. It isn't becoming. You're going to make a scene. Now that is quite a curious objection. I think that you're at risk of making a bigger scenario based on the way you keep carrying on. Why, if I did not know any better, I would have to wonder whether you aren't jealous of the attention I'm bestowing upon Stefania.
Which is understandable. I mean, you give her way too much attention.
Huh?
Ayu gapes at Hifumi, her mouth agog.
I'm not jealous, not one bit. It's not like I'm upset that you're getting all up close and personal with Stefania. I couldn't care less, you traitorous witch, so there.
Ayu scolds in the manner that makes it rather apparent that she does care, so there and grabs hold of Cosmos's hand.
Come on, Cosmos, let's go. I've had enough of this. Mrs. Perfect over here is making me want to barf.
It doesn't take long for my retinue to arrive at Astoria's palace. We're whisked away to the royal palace in style by one of Stefania's chauffeurs. The journey takes a little more than an hour and we arrive there quickly. The palace, as always, takes my breath away when I see its exterior. It's a vast, extravagant building, for it isn't at all tasteless or gaudy. For it is obvious a good deal of money was lavished upon the construction of Astoria's palace. It is rather refined. There are no unnecessary arches, no spires, neither are there any ugly stone gargoyles? Thank you. Affixed to the exterior of the building. As far as royal palaces go, it is positively humble. Not that I know that much about royal palaces. Other than Astoria's palace, I've only been to one other palace in my lifetime. That being the palace in the Succubus realm where Yua lives. I mean, I've been to... Can you call a castle a palace? I think so. In Poland we have quite a few castles, as you might know. I think the most overall in the world or something like that. And they are quite good as well. I think also we have the biggest castle in general, one of them. Yeah, good stuff. Totally worth checking out if for some reason you're in Poland. I don't think the palace is indicative of most palaces, given it looked like a demon lord's fortress from an RPG. Elizabeth takes our bags once we enter the palace, alongside a handful of other maids, all of them sensibly dressed and smartly spoken. They assure us that they will take good care of the luggage, and then depart, leaving us standing in the entrance hall. I feel a little gormless, like a goldfish, unsure of what to do or where to go when Stefania claps her hands. Ah, that's so much light. Actually my eyes hurt now. Fuck. I should be used to that from Genshin, but I guess I'm not still.
Alright, I'm sure you're all tired after your long journey, but it is not so very late.
But we are tired.
As such, I think you ought to have something to eat before you go to bed. It should be about dinner time. And I think a nice hearty meal in the palace will be far superior to what might have been served on the plain.
I mean, obviously. Come on. Stefania leads us to the dining hall, then faces us with a wry smile. Is 6 chairs enough? Hiroki, Stefania, Hifumi, Ayu, Cosmos, Alice. I would like Lizzie to be around as well for. Stefania leads us to the dining hall, then faces us with a wry smile.
I mean, no disrespect to Astoria, but...
Stefania's voice drops to a furtive whisper.
The food they serve is abysmal. I was traveling in first class when I went to see you in Japan, Hiroki, but the food was unpalatable. The chicken was bone dry, and the peas were like bullets, and everything tastes like cardboard.
Wow, could it be that you had British cuisine over there?
I'm not a particularly big eater, but I could barely stand it. You wouldn't be the only one. I'm no princess, but even with my comparatively unrefined tastes...
Come on. You're a master of the kitchen, girl.
I'm no fan of airplane food. If there is anything more unappetizing than it is hospital food.
I don't have a comparison. And that's because I've never been on a plane in general, so I wouldn't know about plane food like from experience. I can tell you about the hospital food for. Ew. It's not good. It really is not good. And it's a joke as well.
I consider...
Just in case, in a hospital I've been a very long time ago. I was 17, appendix, cut out, the only reason I was there. Anyway.
I consider myself fortunate that we do not have to eat in the hospital canteen while filming our current medical drama.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, you're working on a medical drama, aren't you? I've been watching it, it is very good. The last episode was so emotional, it made me get all sniffly. Lizzie was worried I may be coming down with a cold, so she prepared 2 hot water bottles for me to take to bed.
Hot water? What? Why?
She didn't realize how sniffly because of what had happened to Nurse Aihara. Oh, I had no idea you'd been watching that. I didn't think they would air it in Astoria. What are you talking about? They don't! There isn't much of a demand for Japanese-only dramas here when most of the population speaks German. I just pirated the stuff.
I bet that's what she would say.
I was watching it on the internet. Capital letter internet. Actually,
See, told you, she pirated it.
she's a pirate. My, how very modern. I confess I'm not very good with technology myself. I find using the internet, capital letter, to be rather baffling.
I wonder where... Or where... Maybe not where, but when and what will be something that will baffle me as a technology. But because certainly at some point there will be a time when that happens, right? I wonder what it will be exactly. I have no clue how I would feel about VR, as well, first of all, I don't have the PC that could handle VR. But I don't think I would be baffled about that. There must be like the next step in technology. I wonder what it will be exactly, seriously. We'll see. Maybe.
The most I can manage is looking up the odd cat photo that Cosmos sometimes sends me. Oh, the internet is not that hard at all. I can give you some pointers if you want, Hifumin.
Let's go, Cosmos.
If you need somebody to help, set up a router or transfer over some files. I'm your girl.
Yeah.
Would you mind giving me a hand? That would be appreciated.
Good, that reminds me. 2 months ago, something like that, we had a guy... I had a guy in the apartment to change the router to a new one. And also... the TV thingy. I don't really watch TV, but whatever, I still have that. For some reason, internet is cheaper with TV than without. So, yeah. The router wasn't really a problem. He had a problem with the TV thingy for some reason. And my TV is old as hell as well. I don't see a reason to upgrade in general. I had an X360 connected to it and the TV thing. But because I only have one HDMI in TV, I need to use additional device which will basically get that one HDMI to have, I think, 3 basically. So I connect to the device and I get 3 in 1 sort of thing. I just need to use the device to switch between one on the other, if for some reason I actually turn on the TV. But the guy said, no, this device will be not working if it's not directly with the TV. I'm like, sure, man, yeah. He went away, I connected it to the device, boom, it works. Like, specialist my ass. Anyway.
I was meaning to buy a new phone. My current one is rather dated. I'm unsure how to go about doing this, however.
Ooh. First of all, don't listen to people in the store if you want to buy the phone from the place where you have basically the contract. Yeah. They never offer anything good, to be honest. I feel like the only way is because a lot of times they don't, at least in Poland, they don't have anything good in the offer. Or if they have something good, it's super expensive. Get the phone that is the cheapest. So basically you pay one Polish zloty in Poland. Sell that thing. If you had some money already prepared for the phone, add to that whatever you earned. Boom, you can invest into a nice phone. Or don't invest into a nice phone. Buy whatever you had set aside when it comes to money. With that money, buy the phone and you are good to go. The other money can go into something else. Anyway. But yeah, I bet Cosmos can help you with that as well.
Modern cellular phones are also complicated. They have far too many features.
Yeah. I mean, not really. I do miss that good old school keyboard phone, not gonna lie. But also, a big screen is a good thing.
There can be a lot to get your head around here. But don't worry, that's where I come in. Hehe. I'm sure I'll be able to pick out a good phone for you, Hifumi. I'll make sure to get something simple so it doesn't overwhelm you with unnecessary features. But having a good camera is must.
True. That's actually true. Right now, yeah, absolutely. Technically, I do have a mirrorless camera, but well, it's not like I carry it around all the time, so.
You're so pretty, I'm sure I'd want to take a lot of selfies, hehe.
I think she wouldn't, but.
The running thing for me, of all the people who take selfies. She isn't like you, Cosmos. We aren't all that self-obsessed. Do you really think I'm self-obsessed? Well, you certainly spend a lot of time dressing up and looking at yourself in a wing viewfinder. That's all I'll say on that matter.
The girls fall into conversation. I hope they will not argue. Stefania asks Hifumi about Hifumi's ongoing drama and Cosmos' supposed selfie addiction, but Alice remains quiet. She's looking around the dining room in a her eyes white as goose eggs. Hey Alice, are you alright?
Oh, yeah.
Alice starts. Her face flushes. Is she embarrassed at being caught out?
I'm fine. I was just thinking, this place is really is grand. I'm sure if I'll be able to feel at home here. It's all a bit intimidating.
Well, I totally get that. I thought this place was pretty intimidating the first time I came here. And if I'm honest, I still find it intimidating.
You do?
Alice frowns.
But you look so at ease. You look so at your ease. You're acting as though you're used to this sort of thing.
Well, I've been to a palace before. It's not quite as much of a shock as the second time. But believe me, I was very bit as out of my depth when I first came here. I also felt incredibly out of place, but I eventually... Maybe I didn't get used to it exactly, but Stefania made me feel very welcome. She's a nice person. Lizzie is better for.
Yeah, you've mentioned it.
Alice casts a shy glance at the head of the table where Stefania sits. She's still talking to Hifumi, waving her hands excitedly as she talks, presumably about Hifumi's role in her current TV drama.
She does seem very nice, but I'm still worried.
Are you still afraid she's holding a grudge?
Why wouldn't she? I deserve it. Maybe you do, with a lousy attitude like that. Stefania invited you to the palace for. I doubt she'd do that if she didn't want to hear. Now, back your ideas up and stop being so mopey. You'll spoil the dinner if you sit around looking all miserable. After the slop they served us on the plane, I want to enjoy my meal, thank you. Oh, right.
Alice slinks into herself, her face flustered.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be more positive. You can try. For knowing you'll probably fail.
Oh, did you have to say that?
Still, I suppose I appreciate the effort.
Okay. It's a good thing that you mentioned that. While I was talking, a small squadron of maids entered the dining hall, led by Elizabeth. Some of these maids are pushing trolleys laden with food, while others are holding bottles of champagne and champagne glasses. The maids set our food and drink down before us, and as they do, Alice gasps.
Wow, this is amazing! What's amazing? I mean, I'm being served by real-life maids, so of course that's amazing. I still feel like a queen. This is really lavish. I'm afraid I'm not worth all of this attention for. I'm nowhere near special enough for such service. I mean, I'm just Alice.
Ayu scoffs. She looks decidedly unimpressed.
Why are you getting so worked up? Why wouldn't I be getting so worked up? I thought it was incredible that Lady Stefania had besides to dote on her, but this palace is positively bustling with maids. A maid showed me to my seat, and the maid served my soup, and the maid handed me my napkin. There are so many maids, my head is spinning. I've been so well taken care of all in my life. Well, I can easily believe that. But having mage is nothing special. It feels pretty special to me, fool. Well, it would. You have no worldly experience whatsoever. You're so shattered. But anybody with a bit of money can afford a maid or two. Is that so?
Is that so? What? Alice frowns.
I have quite a bit of money myself now after becoming a model, but you still don't have a maid. I wouldn't know where to look for one thing. And for another, I would feel a little awkward having somebody else look after me. Even if I could pay a maid an appropriate salary, I'm not sure if I'd feel comfortable with letting somebody else do so much for me.
Yeah, you make sense. You make a lot of sense, to be honest.
I wouldn't want to be in an imposition. And I'm not sure I'd really deserve it. Now what nonsense are you spouting? You suppose worth has nothing to do with whether you can afford a maid or not. It's purely a transactional thing. You don't need to get so worked up about it. And you don't need to be so impressed either. Maids are just ordinary people who clean up after you. They manage the laundry, the dusting, the sweeping. What's so special about that?
Would the maid kill the freaking mosquitoes that's flying around again? God damn it, where do they come from? For heaven's sake.
Even I could manage that much.
Could you now? He 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 he. Challenge accepted. Elizabeth looks at Icody, her hands planted on her hips. Do you really truly believe that these soulmates are good for Miss Ikue?
Yeah, isn't cleaning up after people what you get employed to do? I fail to see what's so commendable about that or so very exciting. As far as jobs go, it sounds rather simple.
Oh boy, here we go.
Any halfway competent person will be able to do it. I have to hire maids, however, as my schedule is so busy it doesn't allow me for me to take care of my own housework. It's convenient, but there is no reason for Alice to get so starry-eyed. It's just further proof of how very ignorant she is.
Am I ignorant? Alice's expression falls.
I've been trying to fit in, but I guess I've not been doing a good job of it. I should have known that I look a fool, no matter what I try to do. And I'm sure if I should be here at all, not after everything I did to Stefania. Maybe I shouldn't have come here. I'm just going to drag the mood down. I'm such a dummy. Now.
Stefania looks at Alice from across the table, her expression gentle.
Please do not be so very hard on yourself. Hearing you speak to sis makes me feel rather somber. As a guest, I would much prefer if you could enjoy yourself. You have just as much right to be here as I do. What? That can't be right. I mean, you're a princess. I'm just some... Are you not a famous fashion model? I know if I'm exactly famous. I have not been a model for a very long time and I'm just a loser. Ask you. I'm sure she'll agree with me.
Miss Ikue has quite a fiery temper. I'm sure whether she's the best person to go for advice when ones begin to doubt themselves.
She isn't.
I concur. I doubt that I think you a loser, Alice. But even if she does, I do not. You're one of Hiroki's companions, after all. He would not have welcomed you into his heart if you did not have some goodness in you. That is proof enough to me that you are worthy of sitting here. Are you sure?
Alice looks at Stefania shyly, her fingers twined together.
I mean, I did kidnap you for... I would understand if you resented me. I feel like you should resent me, actually. I'm surprised you even let me into the palace. It is true enough that you caused me some, discomfort.
Just some, huh? She's sure downplaying this. I might have told Alice that things would be right, but I don't think even I believe things would go quite this smoothly. Stefania is even more forgiving than I've been giving her credit for. If she's some sort of goddess, definitely not.
But the past is in the past. I don't wish to dwell upon it needlessly, not when it will only cause discomfort. If you can put what you did behind him, then I can too. I don't hold any grudges. That will accomplish nothing, save soaring things between us, and I don't want that. If Hiroki is willing to take a chance on you, then I am too. I trust his judgment without question. And a friend of his friend is mine. Oh,
Alice's face, which was orange red, goes even redder. She dips her head, her whole body quivering, and mutters,
That's too kind of you. Thank you, Your Highness. Oh, you need to be so formal. Just Stefania is fine. Are you sure? Quite sure. I don't like being addressed by my title. It makes me feel like I'm being singled out. I'd much rather live as an ordinary girl. Even if my home is less than ordinary, heh?
Technically it's your parents' home, but...
I understand that dining in a palace might be intimidating, but try not to let it bother you. There is nothing remarkable about me living such luxury. I didn't do anything to achieve all of this.
Your parents,
It was handed to me at the birth, all because of my parents.
Told ya.
In fact, I think you're much more impressive than I am. What? But why? Because you're immortal. You've achieved everything you've known, even though you've been trying to downplay it. Through nothing other than your hard work.
You're quite right about that. You're saving the day?
I think that is much more incredible than anything I've ever done. Just look at this.
Stefania reaches into her pocket, then retrieves something. It takes me a few minutes to realize what that something is. It's pretty crumpled, but once Stefania unfurls it, I'm left in no doubts as to what she's clutching. It's a magazine! The very first magazine that Alice ever featured in. Alice is wearing a ruffled ornate dress with frilly sleeves and a frilly bow. Her long legs are encased in sheer black stockings. Now that I think about it, that's probably the one that you showed us. Her outfit is intricate without being ostentatious, and it's decidedly elegant. Alice's dreamy, faraway expression, meanwhile, only serves to add to the outfit's otherworldly appeal. She looks just as amazing as I recall. Alice really is pretty. Hell yeah. But real Alice has begun to look rather awkward. Slowly her cheeks float scarlet like a piece of broiled octopus. Then with a shy squeak she says,
Why do you have that? Should I not have it? I thought you might feel awkward in my company given our last meeting went so very poorly. So I thought having this route might help break the ice. I hope that bringing up your car would soothe your nerves.
oh boy.
But apparently not. You're wasting your time, brief here. I'm afraid Alice always gets worked up whenever anybody talks about her accomplishments. It's almost like she's allergic to compliments.
True.
Yeah, Alice's always been a bit awkward. She doesn't really like talking about herself, or I have no idea why. She's really cute. She's passably cute. I wouldn't necessarily call her really cute for.
I would.
You're being too effusive. Besides, nobody's as cute as me.
Cosmos, Alice. Hifumi. I'm, by the way, naming people who are more cute.
Alright, yeah, my mistake. I'm sorry, you. It's true, as far as Succubus go, you're definitely the most adorable. But Alice is a cutie too. I concur. I also think she's rather charming. I just wish that she would have more confidence in herself.
Yeah.
What? No, you girls are all being too nice to me. If you keep saying sweet things, my heart will explode. You don't have to be so kind.
Alice bows profusely, her whole face on fire. But this, as turns out, is a mistake. She bows so deeply she face plants or forehead plants against the tabletop. Alice jerks away from the table sharply, tears bedding in her eyes. Her forehead smack against the mahogany pretty hard. Will that leave a bruise? She shifts backwards, raising one hand to her forehead and then...
Oh no!
Disaster strikes. Alice's flailing right hand catches the end of their spoon, which was lying innocuously in her bowl of soup. The spoon goes flying upwards, catapulted into the air by the force of Alice's hand. The spoon arcs upwards. I didn't catch that. Not the spoon, the mosquito. The spoon arcs upwards, scattering droplets of scalding soup everywhere. Soup gets all over the tablecloth, all over the floor. And all over Alice. Well, of course it does. I can't say I expected much else really, not after Alice started bowing like that. Her fate had already been sealed. Really for.
Oh no, I made that mess up, and the viewers want this to be too Stephanie. I'm so sorry, I'm an idiot.
Alice might be the clumsiest succubus I've ever met. I think she is. Later that night. Dude, that day doesn't want to come to an end.
Oh, this is all hopeless. I'm so stupid. I already knew that, of course. This is exactly a revelation, but I feel like it's being hammered home with every passing moment.
Alice sighs wanly as she sits on her bed, cross-legged. She's since changed out her casual attire and she's dressed in the garb of a succubus. Her horns are protruding from her scalp, and from her back emerges a pair of bat-like wings. This is pretty standard as far as the members of my succubus harem go. Because they're succubi. They have to assume their human forms during the day to their lives to better blend with the rest of the regular people. Not that they do a good job at that, I guess, given the flashy natures of their colors. Io and Cosmos stand out regardless whether they have wings and tails or not, given they're both pretty famous. I know Io finds it hard to go outside without being mobbed, especially when her more zealous fans spot her. Like the absolute crazy people, basically. Like absolute maniacs. But if she went out wearing her skin-tight succubus clothes, I think she'd have an even tougher time. Putting aside the supposed impossibility of people having wings, horns, and tails, the outfits my succubus companions wear are rather skimpy. However, they are YouTube safe, as you can see. I don't think they are the sorts of clothes you can get away with wearing in public. You could, actually. It does take a fair bit of magical energy, however, for succubi to maintain their disguises, so they let the facade drop during quiet moments like this. I'm not surprised to see Alice's wings out.
Why do I always make such an idiot of myself? At this point it's like it's a compulsion. Maybe I have some sort of fetish for being looked down upon.
I don't think you do.
I'm actually huge deviant.
But it's less common for the members of my succubus harem to beat themselves up like this. In fact, I think Alice is the only member of my harem who's so hard on herself. Yeah. I would say all of them are pretty confident in everything. I hope I'll be able to comfort her. It's alright, Alice. You only spilled a small bit of soup. There was no harm done. The tablecloth only got a little dirty, and Elizabeth said the tablecloths were cleaned every single night regardless. You haven't given the maids extra work. And even if you have, it's their job to clean up after other people's messes. It's why they get paid. You've not done anything to feel bad about.
I can't help but feel bad for. I made myself look like such a fool, and for the princess no less. How many people can say they spilled soup all over themselves in front of royalty, huh? It can't be that many people.
I guess not, no. The opportunity doesn't really come up. But Stefania isn't just some princess. She's not stuck up or arrogant at all. I think I was more stuck up than she is. I think Yue is much harder to deal with. Nah, I like Yue. I'm gonna go with Ayu here.
That's right, Ayu is way more high maintenance than Steffi, and you get along with her, right? Alright. If you can handle Ayu's mood swings, then dealing with Steffi should be a piece of cake. It's not like you even have to deal with her, not really. She's a really nice girl, you know.
I know, she's very kind to me early, for I make myself look so foolish. She didn't laugh at me, and she didn't deride me. She seemed more concerned if I was alright than the tablecloth.
Well, yeah, I think you spilled more of that soup on yourself than you did anywhere else. It was less messy than it had been, since your lap was in the way. And what a nice lap that is.
But that makes me feel even worse about the whole thing. Lady Stefania has been nothing but polite, kind, and accommodating since I stepped foot in the palace, but that doesn't seem right. when I think about the way I treated her.
Alice shudders.
She must be.
She must be having flashback to her first encounter with Stefania, where she kidnapped her, then tied her up in a disused warehouse to catch my attention.
It was horrible to her. I can't believe she's been so kind to me after everything I did. I don't think I deserve it.
Then what would you prefer? You don't want Stefania to punish you, do you?
A punishment? Oh, you mean like the stuff Marina does to Hazel?
I know what precisely Marina does to Hazel. And based on your tone of voice, I don't want to know. I think I'd be happier being ignorant, but...
Alice sighs.
Maybe it would be a little easier if she bore some sort of grudge about what I did. It might make me feel like... I know, like making amends. I still don't think I've apologized enough. Stefania said everything was right, but how can it be? She should want to spit on me at the very least, and have me thrown into the dungeons at the worst.
What is wrong with you? Stop! No! No!
But it's like she doesn't bear a grudge at all. I don't get it. How can one person be that nice?
Well, Steffi's pretty nice. I don't think she's the type to get mad at people. If you wanna make an enemy, you'd better of getting on Ayu's bedside. Tell that her selfies look unflattering, or she's too old to wear so much pink, or that you like Shizuru singing more than hers. She'll never forgive you for that.
Oh, okay, those are some pretty hardcore suggestions though. I think I'd rather walk into a lion's den than rile up Ayu on purpose.
I know, right? For somebody so cute, she sure is scary. I'm getting shivers myself just thinking about it.
I don't want to rile anybody up for. I want to repent for all of the ill I've done and try to better myself. But how can I when Lady Stefania won't even hold me accountable? I'm glad she's being so kind, but I don't think I deserve it. I don't deserve any of this. I'm a loser. And I'm afraid I'll keep on being a loser. What happened to dinner proves it. I'm not fit to be around other people.
Hey, Ali.
Cosmos ever one to let other people know. Sidles over to Alice. She approaches her from behind, her succubus tail twitching. Nice. Then she throws her arms around Alice's middle in a tight embrace. Alice jumps and glances behind her shoulder at Cosmos, her face flushed.
What are you doing, Cosmos?
Nothing really. I'm just trying to cheer you up. Hehe. Don't be so down. I'm sure everything will be alright. You just need to try and think positive.
Positive, huh?
Alice doesn't look particularly convinced by Cosmos' declaration, and for good reason. Alice and positive don't really belong in the same sentence unless you want to say that Alice is positively pessimistic. I can't help but worry about Alice. But it's nice to know that I'm not the only one. Cosmos is trying to look out for her, in her own air-headed way, and Alice seems to appreciate that. She bites her lower lip, looking unsure of herself. Then slowly but surely a small smile captures her lips.
Right, well, I'm not sure I'm the most positive person out there.
You sure aren't. She's telling me.
But I wouldn't want to make you worry or Hiroki for that matter. I don't want to ruin your trip to Astoria either, not when you've been looking forward to it so much. It would seem unfair to me to drag the mood down with all of my moping. So I'll try to do my best to be more optimistic. How does that sound?
That sounds perfect. You've got this, Ali. Staying at the palace must seem overwhelming, but remember, you're not alone. You're with me. And you're with Hiroki too, isn't it right?
Well, of course, if you ever need a shoulder to cry on or to lean on, then I'm here. I'm just staying down the hall. Which is quite a ways away, since this palace is so huge, but you should be able to find me easily enough. If you need someone to talk to, you can always knock on my door. I'll never turn you away.
There you see. There is nobody kinder than my boyfriend. That's the reason we're all so crazy about him. Hehe. So long as Hiroki's on your side, you have nothing to worry about. Between the two of us, I'm sure we'll be able to ease all of your anxieties. Speaking of which...
Cosmos smiles coyly, then gives Alice another squeeze.
Ding! I've just had a great idea.
You have?
You have?
You have?
That's right. I think the three of us ought to take this chance to get cozy. It should help you take your mind off your concerns, Ali. And this bed is really nice and soft. It seems like it would seem a shame not to use it while we have it. Don't you want to break it in? We might not get another chance.
Huh?
Alice stares at Cosmos, her face blanched.
Are you really suggesting that we, cuddle a little bit?
Why yes, that's exactly what I'm suggesting. Cuddling. What else? We're a Succubi after all. It was for us to live on nothing but admiration, but a few morose encounters here and there certainly won't go amiss. Would you agree, Hiroki? Cuddling, cuddling, cuddling. I don't know about you, but I think that sounds like a very productive way to spend the night indeed.
With cuddling.
Heck yeah. So that's what's happening until the next episode arrives. Hiroki, Alice, Cosmos, cuddling until the next day arrives, the following morning. The following morning will be tomorrow, and will be maybe attending to what we were supposed to attend exactly. Some photographs and so on. Stefania will probably be playing Karuta with Hifumi. I guess maybe the other idol will arrive as well. We'll find out tomorrow how the next day goes. Given the fact that the next idol, the second idol, did not arrive. Unless she's staying in some different place and not in the palace. Which is a possibility. Anyway, let me not theorize anymore. Considering that it's after 3 in the morning already. And if it was a stream, I would continue streaming, but it's not, so I'm going to bed. I'm gonna get some sleep, and this will have to edit it tomorrow and upload it tomorrow for all of you. That's correct. With that being said, consider liking the video, subscribing, and so on. We played all the Sakura games in case you are interested. In the description you have links to all the Sakura Succubus games, except for one, as I mentioned in the beginning, one that is on Patreon. But other than that, all of the Sakura Succubus games. If you want any other Sakura games, they are on the channel as well. Just use the search bar on the main page of the channel. Yeah. Or should I say sub page of the YouTube? That is my channel basically. Yeah. That's how it should be, I guess. Anywho, let's cut it and we'll continue tomorrow. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Go on a date with your Sakubai, by the way. She'll appreciate that. Bye bye.